All right, here we go. Kamigawa, best of one. Audio issues. So I like to kind of watch drafts after the fact anyway to see what I did wrong. Still on Dragon Watch. We have 35 drafts into the format now, and still no Dragon. I think the odds are about 1 in 30 to 31 packs. You should get a Dragon because maybe it's 31 packs because you get one mythic rare per 8 packs, and then 5 of the 19 mythics are dragons. So we've opened 105 packs and got no dragons. So we should have opened 3, a little bit more than 3 by averages, and we've opened 0, which is kind of hilarious. This pack is pretty bad. We're going to take Modern Age out of it. There's also a case to be made for Sunblade Samurai, but it's another pack without a clear winner here. There's a case to be made for Zeus's Many Journeys. If we would have taken Sunblade Samurai, we could have taken Go Shintai here. The shrines aren't bad, and I think the white one's probably the best of them. There's also a Twisted Embrace. I think Blue-Black is a good combo. I'm not as much of a fan of Blue-White, so if we are going to take Modern Age, I'm dissuaded from taking the Shrine here. Zeus's Many Journeys is one of the weaker sagas, but it's still good. I think if we're in Blue-Black specifically, we should be able to get artifacts, and maybe we can, if we pick up Twisted Embrace, we can get Kamiya Forbidden Secrets or something like that, and we can do some artifact and enchantment things, so we're going to settle on Twisted Embrace here. Technically, I think you're supposed to take the Saga there, but black is a fine color, and I think it pairs with blue pretty well. So we're going to take that. Here, a Virus Beetle or a Jukai Preserver. If we would have taken Zeus's Many Journeys, I think it's an easy Jukai Preserver here. But since we didn't, we'll take a Virus Beetle, which again is a fine card. We have 2 enchantments. Now we get an artifact, so maybe we can do some artifact and enchantment stuff. And now we see a Naomi, another Jukai Preserver, and an Iganjo, Seat of the Empire. We also see Imperial Oath. So there's 3 very good white cards and a good green card. And then there's an Inkrise Infiltrator, which is a good enabler for ninjas, but a little bit early, and we're seeing a lot of green now, so it's a 3rd Jukai Preserver we're seeing here. There's a Fade into Antiquity. I think Virus Beetle is better than Jukai Preserver in terms of stats, but again, it depends on what deck you're putting it into. I think it's between Preserver and Virus Beetle here. I don't think you want to take that Fade that early. So it's kind of a toss-up. We could go green-black. We haven't really seen blue. But we're just going to take the black card and keep going where we're going. And now we see a Fall of Lord Kanda, another saga. We see a Tamiyo's Completion, which is removal. It's not terrible removal, it being instant speed and hitting like equipment, artifacts, that type of thing. Like an Oni Cult Anvil is pretty good, but we're just going to take the Blade Blesser. It's a creature. Now we see more green. So we see a Tanuki, a Jungle Hollow, Roadside Reliquary, which could do some artifact enchantment things, but we might splash. We're just going to take the Fade here, the first Fade over a 6-drop, maybe settle into green-black. See a Fang here, pick 8, which is really, really nice. Happy to pick that up. I believe technically that's green's top performing common. And now we get to Commune with Spirits. So counting up our enchantments here to see if we can make that workable. Usually I want between 10 to bare minimum of 10 enchantments to run a Commune. But usually you're looking for at least like 13 enchantments, which is definitely doable in this format to get 13 enchantments. All right, looks like we got a bit of a wait here. So we're just going to chill while folks wait on those packs. Back. Just some garbage here, but we did, to note, pick up a dual land. So if we find something worth splashing for in red, we can do that. This is a very splash heavy format. The fixing is quite good. obviously, especially in green, but you don't even really need to be green. Our second garbage rare there. We did know that. We did expect for that. Counted for it. Ottawa, Soaring City isn't a bad card. It's not like Light Pause where it's pretty unplayable, but it's one of the weaker lands. I think the green is the best, followed by the white, then black for the recursive side of it, then blue, then red being at the bottom. But we do get a decent common here. We get another Twisted Embrace. Again, not the greatest removal, not the it's most effective in this format because so many of the creatures that you care about are saga creatures, which give, a couple ETB effects essentially, and then they result in a big body. So Twisted Embrace in one-to-one removal, not so good. There's also a lot of recursion in this format as well. Games are grindy. But we do get past a Hidetsugu Devouring Demon. Haven't had a chance to play with this card. Super excited to do this. It has been used against me very effectively. And we did pick up that black-red splash land. So this is a black card, but its activated ability, the one that you want, is red. So that's perfect for us. There's also to note here another Virus Beetle, Tawashi Guidebot's fine, and a Network Terminal and Ecologist Terrarium, which might wheel. So here we're seeing more red, fair to decent blue rare there in Mindlink Mech. It's 4/3 flyer with a cheap crew cost. Then it pilots all your stuff with, on-hit abilities like your ninjas, which is pretty good. And it copies their on-hit stuff. But there's like a Kami's Flare, Synthesizer, Heiko Yamazaki. I'd probably take Heiko, Synthesizer, Mindlink Mech, then Kami's Flare. No, I'd probably take Mindlink Mech first, but there's nothing really for us. I mean, we get a You Are Already Dead, which is a decent removal spell. I've come up on it quite a bit, and it's also a lot better with 2 Virus Beetles in our deck, right? So we could take the Big Dumb Ninja, but that might wheel. So I think we're going to take You Are Already Dead here. More garbage. There's a Replication Special. We're seeing a lot of good blue right now. We'll just pick up a Network Terminal, and then we get the combo piece. But hopefully we see that. Yeah, we do. I think we definitely do. No, we don't. Oh my god. We missed it. So we took a Mukutai Ambusher. We did take that. There's reason to take that because we have 2 Virus Beetles. So yeah. So I guess I understand it. We get a Dockside Chef and another Virus Beetle. There's also Moon Circuit Hacker in the back. I do like me a Dockside Chef. It, again, goes very well with the Beetles. And now we get our Containment Construct. Thank goodness. That was lucky. I think it was a mispick to take Ambusher. I really wanted to work with Virus Beetles and try to recur those. I don't know why I was so fixated on that. I think the Containment Construct can be kind of a trap, but we do have a Network Terminal. So hopefully we can take advantage here, because that is a Wombo combo for sure. Drawing an extra card every turn is pretty decent for 1 mana. And then the terminal is also going to help us fix for Hidetsugu's ability. So then we see a pick 9 Moonsnare Specialist. So blue seems wide open. We're going to take Searchlight Companion here and just keep shipping the blue. We're already splashing for red. I don't think I want to splash for another color here, even though I think if we were doing the black-blue thing, we probably would have wound up in a better deck so far. With Mindlink Mech, Specialist, Moon Circuit Hacker, we would have had that to replace Commune with Spirit's Fang, Fade into Antiquity. So yeah, it might have been smarter to just abandon green, but we have had fair picks in black as well, so it's not like we also have Jukai Preserver in green as well, which is decent, but I think we would have been about equal in terms of strength, maybe, if we would have just abandoned green here. And that's, probably a mistake in my drafting. We also had Modern Age in the board, so yeah, which works very well with Containment Construct as well. So yeah, I think there were definitely some considerations to be made here. All right, let's get our next garbage rare. So we get a Thundering Raiju, which is fine. It's a fine card. I would say it's uncommon level. It reads like an uncommon. But it's a 3/3 haste that becomes a 4/4 when it attacks, which is pretty decent. We're going to take Gloom Shrieker. That's fantastic. That's a great card for us to open. Gets back our Hidetsugu, gets back our value stuff. Just a really good card for us to pick up here. Do need some sagas, and there's a perfect one. Life of Toshiro Umezawa is one of the best sagas in the set, one of the best uncommons in the set. Just a fantastic card. There's a lot of X ones like Fang of Shigeki there that you can pick off with it. And then we see one of the other mythic uncommons. So this pack is starting out very well with 3 of the strongest uncommons that we could have hoped for, with Gloom Shrieker, Kappa Wrecker, and Life of Toshiro Umezawa. So those first 3 picks took our deck from bad to good, and now I'm not regretting getting into blue in pack 2, because we would have lost out on Gloom Shrieker and Kappa Wrecker. And we see another Moonsnare Specialist, so maybe regretting it a little bit, but there's really nothing in this pack. We could take Kami of Restless Shadows here. We do have a few ninjas. We have 4. And it gets back Kappa Wrecker, which is always nice. It's a 5-drop. It's clunky, but it is what it is. See another Virus Beetle. Happy to pick that up. Again, with a Kappa Wrecker, it just makes everything better. Dokuchi Silencer, Fade into Antiquity, Master's Rebuke, and then there's a Thornwood Falls, but I don't think we're super interested in splashing at this point. We have a solid deck here, nothing special, but solid. Like I said, we are already splashing for the red. I'm going to see a Season of Renewal. This is a great pickup for us. Again, a lot of value. We do have a few sagas now. By a few, I mean exactly 1 saga, which is not where you want to be. But I think the community is really coming up on sagas right now. We ditched the Brute Suit, which is probably not smart, because we have Searchlight Companion and 3 Beetles, which pilot that thing really well. Even Fang of Shigeki does a good job if you're on the offense of piloting that. So we do have a lot of things that work with it. Now we see an Ecologist Terrarium, Crafted Growth, Season of Renewal. We really do want to make sure our mana is good. Another Fang here is a great pickup. We didn't get any Master's Rebukes or anything, which is kind of a bummer. But it's still, with 2 Fang of Shigekis that can hold the ground and hopefully let us draw into Hidetsugu or whatever we're doing to end the game. We have a lot of disruption here. We have a Season of Renewal to get back, Twisted Embrace, or it looks like we might have some difficulty closing out, but I think our value cards with Chef and Hidetsugu, just the Beetles recurring our ninjas, or recurring the Beetle with the ninjas by bouncing them back to the hand. I think we have a good deck here. We are a little bit removal heavy. 3 Fade to Antiquities and a Kappa Wrecker, probably not necessary, but our mana is good. And I think we got a solid deck. Nothing special, no bomb rares or anything, but maybe we can activate Hidetsugu and get a win off with that or something. It's going to be a tougher build. There's little pockets of synergy, right? We have this ninja pocket, and then we also have like a network terminal pocket. All right. So I think we're going to settle in on 16 land in this deck. And the reason for that is I have Network Terminal, which is a mana rock. And also a draw discard outlet. I have a lot of cheap stuff as well. And now it's just down to deciding which synergies we want to support here, right? We have Containment Construct. We have a Network Terminal. And I think that's going to be the best support for us over just cards like Kami of Restless Shadows, Dokuchi Shadow Walker. It's just a more powerful game-winning pocket of synergy rather than trying to recur the Beetle over and over again, which we can already do. We have Dokuchi Silencer, we have a Kappa Tech Wrecker, and then we have Mukatai Ambusher. We also have cards like Return to Action, which work well with the Beetles. You Are Already Dead works well with the Beetles. We do have a ton of removal, though, so it's not necessary. All right, so looks like we're trying to settle in on which synergies we want to run with here. And it's kind of about which pockets we want to have. So we have our playable short right now with 17 lands in the deck. So the debate is, do we even need 17 lands in this deck? Our curve is very low. We already have a Mana Rock and Network Terminal. The Network Terminal does help us draw out of floods, right? Especially with Containment Construct, just, good synergy there. But we can probably go to 16 lands, and I think You Are Already Dead is a really good card with 3 Virus Beetles in this. Because our opponents are going to be incentivized into blocking the Beetles so we don't get them back with ninjas, and also they're just going to serve as speed bumps, which can kill their bigger creatures, right? Like being able to stop a Tales of Seshiro from slamming in for 5 with the Virus Beetle, then hit it with a You Are Already Dead, draw a card. That's pretty good. It's also good. The card's good with like Searchlight Companion as well. So we have a lot of disruptive elements here. And then we add in the Brute Suit as well because that goes well with all of our little 1/1s. So they pilot that thing pretty well. So we're going with 16 lands here. I think that's correct with a Network Terminal, which we just need to get to 3 mana in this deck. So, all right, decent hand. We have a 2-drop. We have Life of Toshiro Umezawa. So hopefully, and then our opponent plays a 1/1. So that's exactly what you want to see. I'm not going to get greedy here. I could have chosen to get greedy and play out the Virus Beetle, which might have been correct, but it is what it is. I probably should have, because seeing that now that they played a Plains, the odds of them having an Iganjo Exemplar are quite high. But now we play out our Beetle. And then maybe, well, see, if we would have played the Beetle, they don't swing with the Simian Sling. We kill it. They play Iganjo Exemplar. We kill both. And that's obviously very good. But this gets us access to our 2/3 a little bit faster. See, and there's the Exemplar too. You'll love to see it. Well, now we can swing with the Beetle and replay it. So that's also pretty good. So now we get to recur our Beetle, make him discard again. And not going to discard the Beetle for an Iganjo Exemplar because I don't really care. I can trade with that. I'd rather get them to discard another card. I'd rather attack their hand here because they're on the play. Usually when your opponent's on the play, attacking their hand works a little bit better because they're a card short. They got to make tougher decisions. So we'll see if they pitch a land or a spell. They did pitch a land, so they're going with 3 lands. So they're red-white, so their deck could definitely work. But easy trade here. I have Season of Renewal in hand, which is really good. If I draw a land here, I can play Network Terminal and save Season of Renewal. So if they kill a creature, which I can't imagine them doing, should be good. Now, the fact that they discarded a land there and didn't have a play, obviously it means they had a 4-drop, right? So instead of discarding their 4-drop, They chose to discard a land and just not have a play, which is really good. Puts me so far ahead on board. Now I can just Twisted Embrace here. Again, if they kill the Silencer, I can get the Twisted Embrace back and the Silencer, or I can get Life of Toshiro in the creature. So now I have a lot of options. I definitely should have played the Swamp there. That was a huge mistake by not playing the Swamp. But now I can just draw, discard the Forest. So maybe not too big of a mistake, but I was thinking I wanted to have Season of Renewal mana up. But now I have both up anyway. I have Blade Blesser, Season of Renewal up, and I have an extra Forest in hand. Choose to draw, discard right away. Like we're getting a little bit flooded out, which is pretty normal for us, but we do have an enchantment and a creature, and an artifact on the field. So Blade Blesser is turned on here. They'll probably have removal. I mean, they are red-white. They have stuff. That's the card we did not want to see, but I'm happy to run my Blade Blesser into it. And then we draw our Containment Construct. This is going to help us draw our whole deck. So that's a really good draw here. I am definitely willing to throw away the Blade Blesser. 100%. First we'll draw discard. And I still have Season of Renewal up, so. I probably should have tapped Construct there. Just because there's no way I'm blocking with that thing, but. I think the choices just get in with Blade Blesser, trade for their 7-Tail Mentor and the token. And that's just a fine trade for me. If they want to trade with their Go Shintai, I'm obviously super happy about that too. So we have a flyer now. We have Season of Renewal. So we're looking pretty good here. You have a 2/4 Vigilance, which does stop our stuff, but that's fine. We're drawing 2 cards a turn. That Narika is a problem, of course. They do have quite a few enchantments in the yard, and then they can start getting value. I can block it for now, but again, we can just get out of this flood by just drawing our whole deck here. The correct thing to do is tap the mountain. I only have the Hidetsugu, and now we see a Gloom Shrieker, which is fantastic. Getting back our Death Touch Menace means we can just keep running them out of cards here. Happy to keep recurring that. Plus a Season of Renewal in my hand. I mean, things are looking pretty good here. I think it's correct just to add to the board. Drop a Gloom Shrieker. Get the Blade Blesser back. But I guess we choose Life of Toshiro Umezawa. We have 3 mana. We can also buff our Searchlight Companion to start putting pressure on them with life here. Because I don't really care about the 1/1 tokens. I have a pretty wide board. I don't think I really care. That's an issue. Selfless Samurai is an issue. Now they can get 2 enchantments back if they play their cards right here. So that's a huge problem. They have the series of 3 of the Samurai uncommons. They have Heiko, Norika, and Selfless Samurai all on the battlefield. So all they have to do is attack with Selfless Samurai. I'd have to trade with it, which I don't mind doing. But then they get 2 cards back out of the yard. That's kind of effing ridiculous. Still not tapping that Containment Construct, which I need to do. But it is what it is. All right. Well, Life of Toshiro start putting pressure. They're on 11. They're drawing off the top here. They have 6 lands, so we'll see what happens. But I feel pretty good here, drawing 2 cards a turn versus them in top deck mode. And then I can obviously, if they swing with a Samurai, I'm just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to trade. I don't really have a choice here. So it is what it is. But I still think we're in a good spot this game. Getting in with the Blade Blesser might be a mistake, but I do want to... And the fact that they're blocking with the Samurai is awesome. That's huge for me. Because now they don't get a free attack with their Samurai. And then I can just block it with Dokuchi Silencer. And then I can get back my Blade Blesser. I mean, that's just awesome. Okay. So things are still looking good despite their crazy uncommons. Now they get another Samurai. They get another uncommon Samurai. So they get just so much damn value. We already used our Season of Renewal and our Gloom Shrieker, so we can't get back our Twisted Embrace. So we just got to block. I want the 3-power creature to stick around in case I need to block Heiko. And now they get just a ton of value. Just so much value. I'm still going to try to put the pressure on. It's probably a mistake. I could have probably just shrunk or killed the sling so I can't equip that thing around, but now I need to close out this game. I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. I need to close them out. Here I'm correctly tapping. I have a Brute Suit that can trade with a 4-power thing, so that's not a problem. I have my Death Toucher here, so that can trade. I think I'm still good to go, essentially. Get him down to 5 here. Probably should have just killed the sling and got him down to 7. Because that prevents them from gaining 3 life next turn. They go back up to 8. Instead of that, they'd go up to 9. And then Brute Suit would stop the Golden Tail Disciple instead of trading. So, decisions were made. We also don't have access to Pump. So even if we got them down to... I mean... It's going to take us a while to close. We're still going to have to grind this game out, you know? I do have a board of shit I can throw away, so that's fine. And there's an off chance that they're going to reconfigure instead of playing that last card in their hand, or that they could have drawn a Wanderer's Intervention. So I think saving the Beetle was probably correct. Yeah, equip the Heiko here. Brute Suit can trade. We have Blade Blesser to trade. Even Containment Construct we can trade. So we just can't get flooded. We have Life of Toshiro to trade with Narika, potentially. So I still think we're looking okay. And a Jukai Preserver is huge here. Because that gives a counter on our Searchlight Companion and doubles our clock. They went up to 9 there. How did they get up to 9? Oh, I think they got up to 9 because the monkey deals damage and as part of the creature, and the creature had lifelink. That's kind of crazy. I didn't realize that interaction. Thought that would have been at 8 there. Well, another Simian Sling. These are problems. We're at 22 life, so we have a buffer. I think we're okay. But with 2 of them, that's a 5/5 trample. I got to block with the Death Toucher here. Or I could put a double block of Memory of Toshiro and the Jukai Preserver on it as well. But they're still getting back multiple cards. This is just ridiculous. And they're getting tokens, so the ground is getting pretty gummed up. At least they're not gaining life anymore. And I think with drawing 2 cards, we're okay. And this thing has trample too, so I'm taking a big hit here. I'm taking 5. But at least we get that stupid thing off the board. They're in red-white. They don't have enough mana for the whatever invoke recursion thing is, the rare. So they're not getting Heiko back, so that's good at least. And then they played out the Ronin for whatever reason, so they couldn't make a spirit token. So I'm happy with that. And then we draw a Twisted Embrace, which I'm very thankful for. I'm not going to cast it. I am going to cast it on the Searchlight Companion because that speeds up our clock by a single turn. All right. Now I'm feeling good again. They have to top deck removal here. And if they do, I mean, we're in trouble, but we still have Hidetsugu hiding somewhere in the deck. Bang is good here. Another Death Toucher. I mean, we could even attack with Brute Suit, but it would get Eiganjo Exemplar and a Spirit Token off the board. So I don't think it's really worth it. They're dead in 2 turns. No, we didn't want to all-out attack there. All right, they stop Fang from blocking, but again, that's fine. They can equip one of the slings to make Eiganjo Exemplar a 3/3, or they can put it on the Ronin and make that a 3/3, which isn't great for me, because that would trade straight up for Preserver. Or I could block with Beetle and Toshiro. Oh, it's actually 4/4. Holy crap. So it just trade straight up with Brute Suit. I think at this point I'm just trading anything and everything. Because I just gotta delete their board here. Which I think we can. I think we can run them out of cards. But 2 slings on those Spirit Tokens, that's a problem. Here we just really hope we draw something that doesn't react as well. There's Hidetsugu. That's a welcome card to see. You can sacrifice to Scry with that too, which I don't think I end up using, but it's definitely something to consider with this card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I didn't have attacks there. I could have swung with like Preserver still, or even Memory of Toshiro, but that just gets blanked by the thing, the Shrine. And now we can just throw something at their face, too. And they top deck the one card that's going to get them the closest to winning. Eiganjo Uprising. We do have blocks here, but, I mean, come on. You kind of knew that was going to happen, right? We knew that was going to happen. It is what it is. And they go all in. It's going to take me some time here to figure out blocks, but, you know, whatever. And I definitely don't do blocks correctly. I know that. But at this point, I mean, it's over, so. Like double blocking that thing and whatever. I really want to put a Beetle on that Unstoppable Ogre. Probably didn't need to do that. Yeah, trade one there. And then I think I realize here, oh, gotta block that Ogre. There. Block the Ogre. And I take 6, 7, 8 damage here, down to 8. So I definitely don't think that was optimal blocking, but yeah. But we have him dead on Crackback, so we're fine. I mean, we kind of did know they were going to top deck there. They always do. They always do. So I guess that doesn't account for the times where our opponent just concedes early. But come on. Come on. Ridiculous, right? Okay. On to the next one. We were able to grind through that game. I don't think I played it optimally. I know I didn't play it optimally. I probably didn't take the right lines in certain stages. I could have had them dead sooner, I think, by being a little bit more aggressive. Wouldn't have given them that extra turn to draw whatever, but they were a very aggressive deck, so I think my reasoning for playing defensively was sound, but I don't think I identified maybe some of the proper attacks. We see a fine hand here on the play. We have Searchlight Companion, which can come up the ground. We have our colors. We have a fade, and we have a 4-drop with a land. So fine hand. Opponent mold. That's good. That means that virus beetles are still alive. You know. Then we draw a network terminal, so we're good on mana. That means we'll get to 4. And we'll see what they're 2-drop. They're blue-black, which really makes me want to play a Searchlight Companion here. Because that does really, really well against blue-black, right? Being able to stop their ninja train. Puzzle Maker is a little rough. But we do have a play here. We can play Network Terminal, block, and shoot it with You Are Already Dead to stop them from ninjaing in. Because we're assuming they're going to expect to be able to get that Puzzle Maker in. Yep. And just block, wait till the end of the turn, then do You Are Already Dead. Because they'll probably play like a 4-drop or something. We don't want to get crabbed here. We don't want it to get it countered. So they did. They had their 4-drop. And then we'll take our 2 for 2. Or 1.5. 1.5 for 1, actually. No. We played a card, we killed half the card, and then we replaced it. So 1.5 for 1 is what we did. We don't have attacks here, but we do have a Brute Suit. We have a Jukai Preserver that can bump our Spirit. So that makes blocking really, really awkward, or attacking awkward for our opponent, right? Because if they attack with Mukotai Ambusher, I block it with the token. If they attack with Hacker, I block with Preserver. So we have blocks here, and we're expecting them to have at least one removal spell in their hand. So we're going to spread the love here and just play defensively. Our deck isn't that good, but I think playing defensively is probably okay in this spot. We have 4 playable cards in our hand. We don't want to take a bunch of just a bunch of hits from a ninja deck, right? So I think you're kind of forced into playing a little defensively here. If they take out the Preserver and swing with the Moon Circuit Hacker, I'll still block with the token. I don't care. If I draw a land next turn, I'd still have 2 plays. So, yep. That thing can still crew a vehicle with Clawing Torment, but we can also just ditch the... Okay. We can also ditch the Mukotai Ambusher here. Or ditch it to Mukotai Ambusher on a swing. And they're obviously not going to block, right? Sorry. I think they wanted to... I'm not sure what they were trying to do there. But they only have 1 black, so I know that there's not a ninja there. Maybe they tapped wrong? That's not a land, but it's a Fang, which gives us another play. So what I'm going to do is swing with my token, trade it up for a Mukotai Ambush, or get rid of the Clawing Torment, gain 3 life, and then play a Fang, which is still a really good turn. Because it seems to me like they're trying to beat me down here, you know? Because that was an aggressive attack, for sure. And I think they must have tapped wrong, because Arena tapped their island for them, and so they probably have another Moon Circuit Hacker in their hand, would have been my guess. Here, I'm trading Blade Blesser for anything. I don't care. I would trade it for that Hacker. I just do not care. Which makes me think I probably should have played Fang, but my misplay actually saved me. Here, yeah, just going to trade. They can draw a discard. They're not going up on cards, and I do have a way to attack their hand. Of course, they could have another Moon Circuit Hacker, any Ninja. They have Silver Fur Master. But I still trade because of Death Touch. Now I think my play gets a little weird, right? I have lifelink here. I can swing for 5. I can play Brute Suit. I can fade to Antiquity, the Clawing Torment as well, and then keep Preserver back on blocks. And I can just use the Preserver to crew the Brute Suit also, and then I get a Fang down. I don't mind the Clawing Torment, though, just making Jukai Preserver into a crewing machine here, because I have to do something about my lifelinker. And I have a Fade, so I'm not too worried about my life total. I mean, I'm at 18. It's fine. And now I can just swing. And I can use Network Terminal to draw a discard. I have Brute Suit, which has Vigilance, so I can attack with it, then use it. It's not bad. Here they're just gonna... I mean, obviously, it's an easy trade for them. But I gain 3 more life. And I have something to crew the Brute Suit, so they need instant speed removal at the end of that turn in order to get an attack in with the Silver Fur Master, because I have 2 things that they have to take out with 4 mana. And then I can also Network Terminal here. I mean, if they swing with Silver Fur, I just block with Brute Suit. So I think I'm sitting pretty here. We're both on 5 land, but I'm filtering my hand. I have a Network Terminal, so I'm actually at 6. So I think we're looking good. Another Fang, great thing to see. And another Fade. Now I have 2. So I probably should have just faded the Clawing Torment right away there. And then I should have swung with Preserver. I'm not sure what I'm doing. These are misplays. I think I'm just obsessed with not letting them get a ninja attack in. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this, but it's obvious I should have attacked the Jukai Preserver. Or just faded, right? I'm not doing anything else with my mana. Network Disruptor. That's fine. Whenever they go to tap, I just crew up the Brute Suit. They choose to tap the Brute Suit, which means they want to trade with Fang, which is, again, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. We still get our value there. That's good. So they must have another removal or something for Fang, but don't care. Happy to block. Still got another one. Still attacking with Brute Suit. Gravelighter does draw them a card here, so that's pretty nasty. So this is kind of rough. But I have a Dockside Chef, so now I can sack. I'm just, I have lots of value just sitting around. The Chef can crew the Brute Suit. So we'll see what they do here. And I have sack mana up. And it trades for both their cards. Oops. I hate how the interface is kind of wonky there. But anyway. So we'll see if they want to trade. And I can't stop a ninja from getting in now. So, I mean, whatever. Go ahead. Take out the Clawing Torment. And we still have enough mana to sack a creature if we want. And then we have enough mana to draw a discard as well. So they're at 9. They should be at a lot less. Probably like 6 or 5 even. If I'm playing correctly. And using the Fade earlier. But it is what it is. They get their attack in for 3. And I'm assuming we're going to get ninja'd here. So my guess is they send back Gravelighter. Yep. And then recast it. We do have some sack fodder. We can sack the Fang, depending on what they do here. See, it's just a big dope. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And now they need a land to play Gravelighter. So, well, obviously they have it. And so does this mean I have lethal? No, I don't. I can deal him 8. So this is tough. Probably just sack. I could sack Juke. I could even sack Chef right now. I could sack the Brute Suit. So that was a really, really good turn for them. Really tough. Because I want something to trade with the Shadow Walker, and nothing I have does right now. I'm trying to just kill them. I know I can deal 7. And now we get a Virus Beetle, which is huge. That was a great draw. Because we can cast it, then block, sack it, draw a card. We can use it to crew Brute Suit. We should use Chef here, but I think I screwed this up pretty bad. Yep. Wow, you see a lot of your mistakes doing this. Now I have to block with Dockside Chef. Go to 2. And we know they're going to top deck here. So we got to think about what's going on. And they pass the turn, so that's huge for us. Might as well draw a discard. Yep. Filtering more lands. We filtered a lot of lands here. And then we get a Cap Attack Wrecker. So that's just fantastic. That's another Death Toucher. It's just awesome. They do stop us on the ground. And we're not going to risk swinging in. Here, we would trade a Jukai Preserver for a Gravelighter, but if they had removal, even though we can sack, it's kind of bad for us. What we could do is crew up Brute Suit, swing with Preserver and Brute Suit. They block Dokuchi Shadow Walker on Brute Suit. We sack that for a card, and then we eat their Gravelighter. So that's probably the correct move here, but I think I'm just chilling. I have a Death Toucher. I have, I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, essentially, because every land I'm just filtering away. I think this is correct here to draw a discard. Just because we have recursion, so it gets me, in theory, it would get me another permanent that I could recur with Gloom Shrieker or Season of Renewal. Now we just draw into the Twisted Embrace and we're Gucci. So I played that one poorly, to say the least. Yeah. And looking back, I can really see the play mistakes that I made there. I needed to be more aggressive. That's 2 games now where I needed to be more aggressive. All right, on to the next one, though. Somehow we keep stumbling through. Not a great hand, but we have a 2-drop. We have a Network Terminal that gets us to Mukotai Ambusher. So we can play our whole hand, but it's definitely keep. Network Terminal doing real work over here. Cap Attack Wrecker is good to see. Us being on the draw means it's a lot less likely to get in. But here we are. Guardians of Old. I've seen this card played more, and I don't think it's good. It's a 3/4 defender for 3. If it's modified, it can attack. It is a samurai. I think it's blues only samurai. And that does modify it. So, it can attack now. but they don't equip it. So it's clear to me that they have some sort of counterspell here. And I could just walk into it. I could play Virus Beetle, have them counter it, and then play like Kappa Tech Wrecker. I could swing, You're Already Dead, and then if they have the 3-mana counter, like just the crab, then I can pay for that. If they have Disruption Protocol, there's not a whole lot I can do, so we're just going to chill. I mean, we'll make them waste 3 mana. And let me, I know that I have 6 cards in my hand here. If I draw 1 more mana, I can play Virus Beetle and be safe from the crab. So it is what it is. We're up 2 cards on them at least. We just need to draw the land. So screw beats Flood in this situation. We're on the draw. So extending the game is usually a little bit better of an idea, because that card matters. Grafted Growth modifies. That's not good for us. They still have 3 mana up, so they're still leaving counter mana up. Now they can swing for 5 or for 4. But this does allow us to crack back and play a Kappa Tech Wrecker if they swing. So I'm not too upset about it. And I can kill their kunai. I was thinking about blocking and then casting You're Already Dead, but they play another one. Not good. Really, really not good. But they are out of counter mana. I can play a Jukai Preserver as a 4/4. I can just Beetle, which is what I'm going to do here, and get that one of those 2 cards out of their hand. And then I can play a Death Toucher. Now they can kill the Kappa with the kunai. So they did have a Disruption Protocol. So we played around it there. And then now I don't care if they block. I'll just You're Already Dead them. And just draw my card. Because I need to find my lands. And now I can still play a Death Toucher. So that's fine. I have Season of Renewal. So I don't really care if they use the kunai on the Tech Wrecker. It's fine. And they're down to 1 card. We're up at least 3 cards in them. We don't know the last card in their hand. It could be a land. It's not. It's 6. It's a fucking 6 drop. But we have the Death Toucher, but we are in a little bit of trouble. Because they can equip kunai and kill it. At this point, I probably just block with Tech Wrecker as well. We also have Jukai Preserver at instant speed now to save Tech Wrecker, which is pretty good. I could also swing with it, play Mukatai Ambusher, and then swap them, play the Tech Wrecker back, and then kill the Tanuki. So we'll see if they want to block here. And they should, right? Because they don't want their Tanuki to die. So they should block with Guardians. If they do, I can play Jukai Preserver, and then I have double blocks on the Tanuki. And then I can Season of Renewal and get my stuff back. But they don't block at all, which is very strange to me. So what we do, we're going to use that to kill the Tanuki. Then we're going to swap it by holding full control. So we can use that. There's still a step at the end of combat after damage is dealt, and you're able to use the effects. If you hold Control Shift, you can hold full control. So now we're able to exile that, and then we still have our Death Toucher that we can play. And so they really need to use the kunai on it this turn. If they do, then we get to hit them for 4 and gain 3. So they don't. They're trying to wait here. So we're going to swing back in with the Tech Wrecker, and then we have Jukai Preserver in response. And put a counter on Ambusher as well because it's got lifelink. And our opponent's off it. People do not like the Ninja Turtle. They do not like being hit by a Ninja Turtle. I mean, we had Season of Renewal there too, so we're gonna keep hitting them in the face with the turtle. It's only for 2, but whatever. As soon as they block it, trade it off, whatever happens, we just go ahead and take a renewal back, the Jukai Preserver, and then the Tech Wrecker, and get them back, do it again. It's just painful for the opponent. All right, so this is a sketchy keep, but any land gets us a Blade Blesser, which can hopefully hold the ground. We're on the play. So that makes it a little bit more sketchy, but also should, in theory, give us at least 1 extra turn. Now, we draw Swamp. We wanted to see a Forest, but that means we can play our Blade Blesser. So our opponent's name is Jesus Forever Alive, so that's very intense. I guess. I don't know. That's weird to me. Now we get a Dockside Chef, but it is what it is. We can play Blade Blesser, then play Chef the next turn, and then it would get Menace, so we should be able to get in for 3. And so next turn we can play Chef and have a sack up. I don't think I use Chef the right way. I think this format is just so complicated. It's hard to play effectively, and watching it back really shows your play mistakes, so I'm glad for that. Bear of Memory. Really wanted that to be a forest again, but it is what it is. That's the card we just did not want to see. Looks like they're running the Sultai Sagas deck, and it's just not good. Not a good situation for us. Well, Mana's not looking good. Really needed to fade that. We can still sack with Hidetsugu here, but we'll get in for 4. I think our only option is to try to beat them down here and win with Hidetsugu triggers. I don't know. They're just going to go way over the top of us, and they have more sustain. Tech Wrecker is not what we want to see. So yeah, this is really bad. Really bad. So here, I think it's correct to trade because we have Season of Renewal, and I can't take 5. They have a Death Toucher, so they're stopping our attack anyway. So I think I just take the trade. But then, we're still not drawing forests, so the mana base came back to bite us in the ass. We have 8 sources of green, and I think we only have 4 or 5 green cards in the deck. So the fact that we have 3 of them in our hand is pretty rough. We do have blocks on Tech Wrecker, but they have 6 cards in hand. We can't cast our hand. They're drawing more. I mean, it's just really bad. Really bad situation here. Yeah. And we know that they have Season of Renewal, Gloom Shrieker, those types of cards in their hand, so it's, not a whole lot we can do. It's an easy trade for me here. If they have a trick or something, we just sack it. Draw a card. And they'll have another play. Oh, they have the Season of Renewal. I can already see them looking through the graveyard, so they have it. We get a forest. It's good. I can kill that stupid thing. they have any way to save it, we're fucked. But okay. They still have a Season of Renewal. So, getting under our point of damage. And now we can think about Season of Renewing here. So what I should have done... Yeah, I mean, we knew they had that. So I got to find a way to get an enchantment in the yard. So we can play Jukai Preserver. I probably could have just attacked with the Chef and then cast You Are Already Dead. That's what I probably could have, should have, would have done to kill it, whatever one they block with. Get another Fade. But I go ahead and just cast the Preserver here. Believe it is correct to put the counter on the Chef. Because they can pump the Bearer of Memory anyway. And then they have a Master's Rebuke. Yep. So now I have to use the Chef here. So I should have definitely put the counter on the Chef. But it is what it is. And then I have to try to kill the Tech Wrecker. And we know they're going to have another Season of Renewal in their hand here. But the fact that they're pumping here is probably good for us. If they're thinking about it. Oh, they have something. Yep, they are pumping. I have 2 mana left over. We'll get our 1-for-1. But You're Already Dead. And then we can cast Season of Renewal next turn. Alright, so we draw another forest. That's really good. We get Hidetsugu and Chef back. Or Preserver. Preserver's probably better here, actually. Just having another 4-4. Just go ahead. They have 3 cards in hand, so at this point the game doesn't look completely over. Take out Bearer, probably a mistake. But next turn, the reason I did that is next turn I can just play both. And I'm trying to slow the game down here. So I can play our Demon. The fact that they have a Ninja is really bad for us. So if I would have played Hidetsugu there, it would have been a lot better because I could have started shooting their creatures. And then, yeah. Yeah, definitely should have played Hidetsugu. I would have taken... I would have been down to 4, though. So that might have been bad. Now we are... If they want, they can put us to 1. But they chose to cast that instead, which makes sense. They can still pump. Now we have to trade for Coiling Stalker here. And then they just have too much fat. Way too much fat. Going to 2. Yeah. So we don't have a choice. We just got to use the ability here. That is about the best card we could have hoped to flip, because now we have lifelink. We have a fighting chance. They do get a 2/2 menace. We know they're going to top deck. We know that. They will not draw land the rest of this game. So they were at 10 lands for, I don't know, 3 or 4 turns already. They've drawn probably three spells in a row. And then this will be what, number 4? Yeah, well, we're just drawing lands all day. All damn day. So we know they have spells. Literal perfect combat trick exactly when they needed it. We knew that they would have it, though. We did know they would have it. That's what, 5 or 6 spells they've drawn off the top, and then they'll keep drawing more. We just get lands here. All right, we have 11, opponents on 10, and they're going to stop right there. Have to gain the life, don't have a choice. I don't even think I have a 5-drop in this deck, so there's no way I can kill that with a Hidetsugu trigger. We have a 4/4 menace that I can't block. So we go to 2 at best. And then I trade Tech Wrecker. But we know they're top decking here. That's guaranteed. So we go to 2. Probably 6, yep. And it's going to be a 4-drop that Ambusher doesn't get through. So we did know that as well. Now, they didn't put the counter on Preserver, which means I can trade for Ambusher, but then I'm dead. So what I should have done here, is swing with Ambusher. They go to 5, play the Silencer. I mean, the fact that we knew they were going to top deck does change things a little bit, but I could still double block with Silencer and Hidetsugu. No. We're gonna. I mean, I thought there was a chance that we might be able to draw a card that wasn't land, and that's just not something we're really capable of. Because this leaves us up on board here. So they'll just draw the whatever they need to win. Yep. There it is. There it is. And then we have to double block, so. And then we'll top deck again. You just top deck 4 drops, by the way. It's not their 2 drops. They're just getting 4 drops, 5 drops, 6 drops. We have to double block. So next top deck. It's a rare. And then we get a land. Yes, sir. And another top deck. And we'll get a Twisted Embrace here. Something uncastable. Yeah. There it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am salty about that. So that was what? 10, 8, between 8 and 10 straight top decks from the opponent, including rares, uncommons that were perfect in the moment. all 4-drops, 3-drops creatures with power that I'd have to double block, and we got land and 2-drops. So, yeah, opponent just can't beat perfect top decks like that. Jesus definitely just gave them 10 spells in a row, so maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah, they just was 8 to 10 spells in a row. Relevant creatures and tricks and exactly what they needed in a row. We're on the play, which typically makes Beetle worse, but the fact that we're on the play with the 2-drop ninjutsu card in our hand means there's a non-zero chance we can get in. Not going to happen. We do get good mana here, so we can play out Containment Construct. And then they're probably going to use the Inkrise Infiltrator to get their ninja in this turn, which means we can, if we draw Swamp, we can swing at the Beetle, play Ambusher, then play Beetle again. So a Swamp is probably our best draw. We know that they have a ninja here. Prosperous Thief. Oh, that actually allows them to replay Inkrise Infiltrator, which means, yep, exactly. And we did get the Swamp anyway. What a great draw for them. So here, we're tilted as fuck. I should have played that on the Beetle in Swamp, but I kind of want to bait them into using more ninjas because we know they'll have another one here. But if they have Moonsnare Specialist, it's really bad, but the fact that they did this is good. This means that I have an opportunity to do the Beetle play, which I'm probably jonesing for a little bit too hard. But now we're winning a race against the Shadow Walker with Ambusher, so we're fine. Here, we get them to 10, we go to 15. We can play the Beetle, get another card out of their hand. They're at 4 mana. They're discarding spells. So, oh, they discarded a land. Never mind. Still, they're at 3 cards. We have a decent board. We can Gloom Shrieker. We can chump with Beetle, Gloom Shrieker it back, and make them discard another card, which is probably the line right now. If they kill Construct for whatever reason, yeah, I mean, that's really bad. I think we're still... yeah, we want to get the Twisted Embrace back. And we can just leave that up for whatever bombs they have. Then we don't want to play Forest here. So we can discard it to Long Reach. Luckily, they're blue-black, which means they don't have a lot of ways to recur the Long Reach, like Geothermal Kami, but they can pick it up with ninjas, so we got to make sure that we block it. They don't attack again, which is very good. Now we can kill the Shadow Walker and get in there if we want. But they do have way too much mana open, so we're not going to run into that. We're not going to run into the instant speed, either Assassin's Ink or Lethal Exploit. They didn't play their 3-drop, so we know for a fact they got something there. All right, now they have 5 mana, so this is going to give us a clue as to what removal spell they have. We don't have a creature with over 2 toughness right now, so we can't play around Lethal Exploit. So we know they have it. That's fine. And now we can sack, start drawing cards, figure something out. And another Virus Beetle. This gets another card out of their hands. This is really, really good for us because they're clearly holding on to shit. Their removal. Because they want to blow up Twisted Embrace. They want to get the 2-for-1. You can just see it on their little avatar. And they discard Hidetsugu, so we know for a fact what they have here. Yep. They're going to get in. This is really tough. So this is a gamble. Because I don't want them to get Knight's Reach back, but I do have a card to discard. And I think I'm overthinking this a bit. Them getting back Knight's Reach, I don't think they could play it this turn. And we know that they have removal. So what I end up doing here is really bad. I know I'm going to block Thief on Shrieker. That for sure. What I intended to do is block with Beetle, chump with Beetle on Shadow Walker, and then sack it for the card. What I could have done, double block on Knight's Reach when they go to remove. I sack both creatures and draw 2 cards, but I wound up forgetting to put my block back on with the Beetle. So that's really, really bad for me. So I went to 8 instead of 13, which is tough. I do have Ambusher on the Crackback, and then I get a Fang of Shigeki here, which is really, really good. Really, really good for me. They're kind of priced into using their removal here. They have March of Swirling Mist. Really, really bad. So we go to 1 here. We go to 1. Oh my god. And we know they have removal in their hand. So they top the land. It was a creature, we're dead. And we have You Are Already Dead. Yeah. So now they got to use it. It's fair. We knew they had it. So now we can go ahead and cast our thing here. And now we have to blow up the Knight's Reach because we have a Death Toucher to take out the 5/5. We also have a You Are Already Dead. So even when we know they're going to top deck removal here, or a way to deal with it, we did know they would have that, to be fair. We knew that they would top deck it. It's happened every game. It's going to continue to happen. We have to have contingency plans like this, right? So we still get to draw our card. We should have been at 6, but in the end, I think it worked out. And now, we're going to do this first because we know they don't have to block. We get a Kappa Tech Wrecker. And that was the actual card we fucking needed. Yeah. Arena kind of screwed me over with the way it tapped. It definitely screwed me over with the way it tapped. Should have played out Blade Blesser. Fucked that up. Really fucked that up. Man, I'm making a lot of small mistakes here, which just add up. Which really, really add up. Shouldn't have played the land. So they should have been going to... They should have had a 3-2 and a 1-3 out. Should have been going to 3 this turn instead of 5. So that's really, really bad. I think my thoughts were I could play Blade Blesser, Brute Suit, and hold up a sack here. So that makes sense. And then we have a Death Touch Menace out. So they should have been at 3 instead of 5 in Dead to Blade Blesser. And we gave them an extra turn. But they didn't top deck again. So we did. I mean, they did as well. They top decked the perfect card there with Network Disruptor. We just had a You're Already Dead in our hand. So. All right, on to the next one. Pretty bad hand. We do have a Searchlight Companion, which the more I play with that card, the more I just think it's legit just good in a lot of decks. You know, there's so many X1 creatures in this format, and it really helps against the Ninjas deck. I mean, there's just a lot of situations. Like, it's really good against Hotshot Mechanic here, right? Can't play it till next turn, but I mean, it's going to be a good play then. So it is what it is. We're going to take 2. They're a white-red Samurai deck, which I haven't seen very good versions of, but it is what it is. I think as the format matures, there'll be better versions of this deck. I've already seen some of the meta start to shift, where you really can't get Sagas anymore unless you open them. Maybe you can get them like pick 2 or pick 3, but they're all gone by then. So anyway, now we get our combo. So we're really glad we did the Network Terminal Containment Construct synergy, because this is the second time we've had that. Maybe even the third. Okay. So what do we got going on here? We knew that they would have the Voltage Surge. We knew that they would have a March of Otherworldly Light. We knew that they would have removal. But Searchlight Companion endures. We knew they would have a Twin-Shot Sniper. They really just had the perfect draw here. The perfect cards. We do get to trade off for the mechanic, but yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. I think we want to get rid of Sniper here. We have another Fade into Antiquity. We're just trying to hang on. Season of Renewal doesn't even do a whole lot. It gets us back Containment Construct or Searchlight Companion to try to get us our combo back, but we do have 6 mana. So what we could do is Season of Renewal, get Construct back, then draw a discard this turn. But if we don't draw land, then that play seems pretty bad because we'll end up losing a card. So we're just going to do this next turn. They have Imperial Oath, which is going to wreck us. Yeah, we can't beat Imperial Oath here. So we get wrecked by that. There's nothing we could... They had just a perfect draw. You know, they had perfect removal. Stop at 6 land, play Imperial Oath, scry for more action, and we just can't beat that. There's no way. No way we can beat that. And we'll flood out here, I'm pretty sure. 16 lands in the deck, by the way. But we'll flood. And they top 2, so they're going to have more action, more removal, more creatures, and yeah. Yep. Yeah, we'll flood out pretty bad here. That's like guaranteed. Yep. Yeah, we'll flood. Yeah, 16 land in the deck. It's 3, 7, and 14. We'll just take 6 because we can't deal. Yeah, and then they just top a Kami's Flare. I mean, you know? Yeah. So we can't even use Network Terminal now. And we just die next turn. Alright, that's game. Yeah. So we flooded out. Opponent drew perfect. Can't stop it. Can't stop that. Yeah. So we got beat by a guy who literally had Jesus drawing cards from the top of the deck to get 8 spells in a row and then that. Nothing you can do about that. It's not really a card that gets us out of that situation, other than something with 2 power and 3 toughness. I would have done it. Life of Toshiro Umezawa probably would have won us that game, I guess. Would have been very good anyway. Just the 2/3 body, killing the pilot. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong. But it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. We got a dual land. So it's land heavy. We have 5 lands essentially with Terminal, but at least we can draw a discard with Terminal and Beetle. And then Beetle turns on, Blade Blesser, gives it Death Touch. So we have a 2-drop and a 3-drop. And then we see Hidetsugu. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll get to use that card in a way that wins us a game. Last time, our opponent was the Jesus Top Decker that just drew 10 spells in a row off the top. So. And they are discarding spells, which is a very good sign for me. Very, very good sign for me. So it means that they are land light. But they do get their 3rd. Because we drew another spell there, I don't think we play Terminal. And because of how our opponent's hand is developing. Because now we have 4 lands, right? So we can play our whole hand. And we can Twisted Embrace. We can do whatever we got to do. So this is a decision because I want to get that Beetle in to make him discard. Because I know I'm going to get him to discard another spell, right? So I could just swing with Blade Blesser. They trade. And then I can go ahead and play Hidetsugu. This way, because they're going to have removal, right? So they have removal for Hidetsugu. This allows me to get in with Beetle because they only have 3 mana. So they remove my demon. I get in with Beetle, and then I play Ambusher into Beetle. Now, they didn't have removal, which is crazy, because I had a handful of cards. No way to do, no Intercessor's Arrest or anything. So we get our demon to attack, and we can make the play. And they're discarding more spells. Now we draw a green, so things are just looking very, very good for us. At this point, I'm trying to kill them before they can get to 6 mana because I think they might have Farewell now. Is probably their way back into this game is to play Farewell. So we continue to attack the hand. We know we're going to get spells with it. It's the second Beetle. So they go down to 4 cards here, and we're just looking good. And they draw a discard again. So if they don't discard a land here, I mean, their just whole bin is going to be full of spells, and eventually they're just going to flood, right? Because they're, screw beats flood, but if you're discarding all your spells, well, when you flood, you're not going to have anything to cast. And so that's where hand damage can really affect the player, especially in this format where every card is so important. Discard another spell. Look at that. 5 in the yard. Get a Fang. So I'm worried here. I would have just... they have a Bank Buster as well. So that makes me happy because I know I can Twisted Embrace and get in for a billion. I think I screw up the mana for this. I can also Silencer back the Beetle and make him discard again. But I think we just want to try to end it here. What I should have done is probably sacked the Beetle at the end of their turn or the beginning of my upkeep. Then use the ability and then to hit the Fang with Takuchi Silencer and then swing in. Is probably the correct play there. But they're at 3. I feel like they need a way to stop Hidetsugu here. And then if we get in with Beetle, I mean, it's just so difficult. They have another Death Toucher. So we swing with the team. And then we get them to 1 here. If we swing with the team, they have to chump 1. They kill the demon with the Death Toucher, but they chump Glider on Ambusher. Then we Silencer them. Make them discard one of their last 2 cards here. And then we can play Terminal. This is where I script the mana. Yeah, okay. So we still get in. They go to 1. And I have to be able to count on myself to close it out when we're up so hard on cards here. Because at this point, they've just discarded so many damn spells. And so the correct play here is play Terminal, then play Beetle. And I just get too excited and I play a damn Beetle again because I'm obsessed with just making them discard cards. So now I have 3 lethal attackers on the board. And they have 1 card in hand. They go up to 2 here. They can draw with Bank Buster, but they only have 5 mana. They do discard a land. Finally, they discard a land. So now they're starting to flood a little bit. So the only thing they can really do here is land, play, farewell. But they don't have it. We got there. Opponent got royally behind on mana and just couldn't keep up. So we were able just to throw enough attackers in their face. And I'm not using the sack Scry 2 thing off Hidetsugu like I should, as well as I should. Like I should have sacked that Beetle and stacked my deck so I could just blow up their creatures or shoot them in the face, honestly. You know, if I sack Beetle there, I could search for like a 3-drop or something, maybe. I don't know. And then just go face. So that was probably better to do. On the draw. Man, all I do is talk about Beetle. But it's going to be good anytime you're on the draw. Hand damage is more relevant if you can stabilize the board, right? Because your opponent's already down on cards and they're mulling. So hand damage is even better here. Make your opponent make really tough decisions. Looks like we're set to flood a little bit. Hopefully we draw out of it. Dragon Spark Reactor I don't think is a great card. It's just too expensive. And it's too situational. It's not good late. And your opponent sees it coming from a mile away. So we have this fade, and we can just bank the fade until it's useful. Totally fine here. I should have discarded a forest, not a swamp, because I have 2 Twisted Embraces, which are double black, and I have no double green spells. You're happy to trade. And I'm also happy to discard. So, I'll just swing. And they don't block, which is great for me, because now I can continue to attack their hand. And then I have a 3-2. So they're not going to be able to empty their hand this turn. Well, I guess they could. They could have a couple 2-drops, but they Twin Shot Sniper, which is the perfect card, to be fair. It is the perfect card here. But now we beetle out the last card in their hand and hopefully stop flooding. We're at 22, so I'm not really worried about life total. You get that synthesizer out. They're on 4 land, no cards in hand. So now I'm happy to block here. And then we'll have a 4-4 next turn. We're assuming they're going to be able to remove that immediately. I was thinking Kami's Flare there, but... Yep. Could definitely block here. Choose not to. We're ahead on the race, so it's clear they have something. Now we get a Gloom Shrieker, which is really good. So let's get rid of that reactor. What I was thinking is that they wanted to use the reactor on me. And use that to 2-for-1 themselves with the sniper. So I can Gloom Shrieker, get something back. I can get Ambusher or Beetle back. Probably get Ambusher back. Because then I can get Gloom Shrieker back. So they have to use removal on the Gloom Shrieker now. And they're at 6 land, 1 card in hand. Yep. Beetle doesn't do anything anymore, but it is what it is. So I'm debating here. I could Twisted Embrace or just get in for 3 lifelink or hit him for 4. I'm winning the race, so I think the extra point of damage is better for me. And then I can add another counter if I want. It's probably better not to do it this way, but I think I want the 4-3 lifelinker and a 3-3. Rather than a 3-2 lifelinker and a 4-4. Because now I have multiple attacks. They're in jump block mode. I have Twisted Embrace and Beetle, and yeah, they had to mull. We made them discard a ton of stuff. So Beetle got Swamp and Synthesizer, and then it traded for their thing, and we had another one, and it was just not good for the opponent. They just ran out of cards. That Synthesizer would have been huge for them. Huge. All right. Final boss. Let's see if we can play a little better. I think we're getting a little bit better with the deck as we play with it and learn the patterns. All right, so we need a swamp, but, I mean, we can cast most of our hand here. Still need a swamp. I think we're happy just playing out Fangs and trying to get them with the Tech Wrecker. Especially now that they're green-white. They just have a ton of cards. They just have so many cards. Grabbing a Plains. So green-white means season. The reason that they're doing that is because they're either light on land or they're they have Season of Renewal. Disciple's fine. This allows us to utilize Tech Wrecker. My experience with Tech Wrecker is when you can get value, just get value. You know? You don't have to wait for the perfect target with that card. That's what makes it so strong. It's cheap, it exiles, and you just use it. And it puts you ahead. You know, 1-3 for 2 isn't super relevant, but it's something. And there's a lot of 2-1s and 1-1 tokens in this format, so it can sit around. And then also in the off chance you can ever pick it up again, you're golden. Geothermal Kami. So we still have attacks. Still really freaking need a swamp. But I think we're doing okay here. We have a block on Kami. If they swing with it, we just block. You know. Historian's Wisdom. I mean, we can still block that. It really makes me think they have a damn Season of Renewal. Oh, so they have something to deal with our guy. That's okay. Now, if we draw a swamp, we're good. If we don't draw a swamp, we're in real bad shape. But we keep back the other Fang, and then we just keep fucking plowing along. So if they have another removal spell here, we're in deep, deep crap. Thankfully, they don't. Oof, that is lucky. I don't think they offer up the 2 for 1 here. They get another Fang, so we're scared of, like, I mean, it's a lot they could have. Network Terminal that allows us to at least get access to black. So we can cast a Dockside Chef. We'll obviously trade Fang for Kappa Tech Wrecker. Don't have a problem doing that. And then hopefully that can save us. Next turn, we draw a Swamp. We can double spell with Beetle. And like Fade on Azusa's Many Journeys. Here, easy. Easy peasy. Yep. I will trade your 6/4 for my 1/1. So usually that means they have something huge. It's a Tanuki. So now Swamp is perfect. We can Beetle out the last card in their hand, Fade the Tanuki, and then life is good. It was a Life of Toshiro Umezawa. That was devastating. Devastating to the opponent. Here, I have great blocks on the Fang. I have another Fade for Azusa's Many Journeys, which I don't even need to use because I have a couple 4/4s coming. So now the board completely flipped by unlocking a Swamp. We have sack fodder. I mean, this is just... things really turned around. So now, I think we just... I mean, we still have to deal with the Fang of Shigeki. I could Fade the Fang as well. So this leaves sack mana up for us. They do top deck removal or something. Michiko's Reign of Truth is a huge problem. It's a huge issue. But we can block and sack here. Draw a card. Mukatai Ambusher's really, really good because they're not going to block Fang on Kappa Tech Wrecker because it's keeping back Hidetsugu. Just to be safe, we're going to Beetle away their last card. All right. And now we can do the thing. So we exile Michiko here. We're still at 14, so we're definitely just going to do the flippy swap arounds. And then kill their Michiko. Yep. I mean, even Fang isn't a terrible target here either, but we're winning this as is. Kami of Transience is a huge bomb. It's not an enchantment, so I can't fade it. So that's a big effing problem for us. So I can Jukai Preserver here. But it doesn't open up. I can just make it a 4/4. We'll see what we hit. Nothing. I can't even play it, I guess. I guess I played a lander already. So that was a stupid idea. You can still play Jukai Preserver, though. And then they commune with spirits for more action. Now they get Intercessor's Arrest. We do have a fade to free up Hidetsugu. And then we get a Twisted Embrace. And we have to be very careful with how we structure this, because whenever an enchantment goes to the yard, Kami comes back to their hand. So we need to kill all the enchantments first. And I can still exile them, which is fine, but... Here, I'm keeping up 2 sacks. I probably should have just cast Twisted Embrace. But good thing I didn't. Now you see a fucking Tanuki. They should be attacking with Kami, because they're at 16. Now I could sack here as well. Or I could network terminal. Yeah. And just start getting the extra lands out. You know, a 16 land deck, we are very prone to flooding still. You Are Already Dead is interesting. That's really, really good. Hitting a 3-drop off of our demon, plus being able to draw and play a Death Touch Menace creature. I'm into that. And then we also have You're Already Dead up, so that's cool. But that thing can just get in now, because I don't mind trading that for Kami and then whatever. That's a problem. Now, 5/5 trample, 6/5 trample, a 4/5 vigilance. These are just a lot of fat. What we can do now is Virus Beetle, You Are Already Dead, which is really, really good for us here. And that gets rid of both of their enchantments, which allows us... I just still didn't do it. I'm so dumb. Why didn't I do it? We go to 6? What am I thinking? What the fuck am I thinking? So we, what? Yeah, kill Forest, I guess. And we can't swing. I really goofed this up pretty bad. Maybe I just didn't see the mana. Thing's lethal. This is actually fine. Now we can Twisted Embrace. I mean, it still would have been way freaking better for me if I would have done this the other way. But I almost just punted this whole damn game. So now we Twisted Embrace Kami, and then we can just start getting in. So what we want to do here, and then we want to drop in the Ambusher, get our Tech Wrecker back. Can't cast it this turn, but we do gain the life, and then next turn we can use it, so they need to help it. They need to top deck Farewell here. Yeah, air is not going to do it. All right. Wow. Wow, that last game I played very poorly. I don't think I saw that I had that extra mana from You Are Already Dead, maybe. Because that would have just been... I could have won a whole turn earlier. Wouldn't have given them access to a top deck or anything. I would have had 4 more life. Been ahead of card. Just wow. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, I wouldn't have had a stupid 2/2 beetle, but oh well, it wouldn't have changed the clock any. Okay, we still got there, and it was good to watch through some of the mistakes I made and figure out what's going on. So awesome.